What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Marketing Reseller Podcast. Guys, in this podcast, I'm going to be talking about challenging yourself to be better. And so it's kind of funny because right now I'm still going through the phase 1 of the Live Hard program. And actually, by the time this one is done, I actually might be done with phase 1. I'm not totally sure when this podcast will be aired, but what I want to talk about today, guys, is I want you to challenge yourself. And what do I mean by that? So you guys are going to hear me talk about 75 hard a lot. And I'm going to brag a little bit about that because that was a powerful challenge. It wasn't, never mind. It was not a challenge. It was a program. Andy Frisella would wreck me if I called it a challenge, but what 75 hard did for me, guys, is it challenged me to better myself in a way that I had never thought was even possible. So what does that mean? So number one, so I was already working out, typically once a day. It wasn't anything crazy or anything like that. But in 75 hard, you have to work out twice a day. Okay. So one of those has to be inside and one has to be outside. And sometimes the outside workouts, guys, you had to do it in like the rain and thunder and stuff like that, because and that was it. Like, you had to do it. If you didn't do it that day, then you had to start over. Right. And this is what I mean by challenge yourself. Like, get outside of your comfort zone, do things that you typically would not do. What you're trying to do here is transform into a better version of yourself when you challenge yourself. Okay. Here's a really good example. So for phase 1 of the Live Hard program, so I misunderstood the directions on the Live Hard program. However, I decided to take that up as a challenge because I was doing actually more than what was required for that challenge. So in the Live Hard program, here's what you have to do. It's basically the same stuff as 75 hard, and this is why it's a challenge. So let me kind of pull it up here. So you have to do 2 workouts, right? You have to take a progress picture every single day. You have to do 10 pages of reading. You have to drink a gallon of water. You have to follow a diet. You can't have any cheat meals or alcohol. You have to take a 5-minute cold shower. And then you have to do 10 minutes of dedicated visualization. And then here's the kicker. You have to do an 8-hour list full of critical tasks. Now, I misunderstood the 8 powerless critical tasks because Andy talks about the 5 of those critical tasks are what you do already. So they were the original 75 hard 5 things, right? So you actually had to only add 3. Well, guys, I misunderstood that. And I was like, okay, so I need to add like 8 things a day that are going to be used to better myself. And then my buddy hit me up and he's like, hey man, how's Live Hard going? And this was like 4 days in. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm finishing all my 8 tasks that I got to do. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you only got to do like 3 on top of the other 5 that you were doing. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, dude, you only had to add like 3 more things. And I was just like, well, screw it, man. I've already been doing this, so I'm going to take this as a challenge. And I'm just going to keep on going. And guys, so now the regular part of phase 1 is it would actually be 10 times easier than what it had one. It would have been easier if I would have done it the regular way. But since I accidentally did it in a harder way, I decided to keep going with it. Because what that does, whenever you challenge yourself, you create what's called a new set point. And then you have set points in business, in life, with money, right? All of these things. So what I ended up doing is I ended up creating a new set point for myself. So it's kind of a new level of confidence in a way, right? On the things that I can do. So now I have found out over the last, I'm on day 25. So 25 days in, I've been doing 8 total tasks every single day. And if I, look at my list behind me here, there's three of those tasks never change. Okay. And this was challenging all in itself. But 3 of those tasks are journaling, I have to do a gratitude memo. So I have to literally speak into my phone every single day what I am grateful for. And then I do meditation for about 5 minutes. And then on top of that are 5 more tasks that I have to do every day that align with my goals that are in the future. And today those tasks are add 1 email per sequence to my sequences on my email list, record the podcast. So that's what I'm doing today. Pay my tax people, check some payments, and then do all of the podcast emails for the week. So, to a normal person, that seems like a lot of stuff to do, right? And normal person would be worn out towards the end of the day, on top of everything else that I have to do. So all of those 8 tasks that I just told you guys, I still have to do my first workout, my second workout, read 10 pages, drink a gallon of water, follow a diet, don't cheat on my meals. I still got to take my 5-minute cold shower. And then I still have to do my 10 minutes of dedicated visualization. The fact that I'm able to do this many things in one day has increased my set point to a point now where I feel invincible, right? Like, it also does another thing. Whenever I challenge myself this hard and continuously do it, what it does is it creates massive consistency. And in my brain, what that ends up doing is that, in my own mind, it says that I'm a consistent person, which is incredibly powerful. If you can appear consistent to other people in life, it gives you amazing credibility just because of the consistency level, right? So for example, for the next 5 years, I plan on focusing solely on reselling and helping my students excel for the next 5 years, and building through my consistency that way. So guys, the whole point of all of this though is go out and challenge yourself to be better. Okay, go out and challenge yourself to be better. I recommend the 75 Hard program for this reason, because it is hard. It's very difficult. But at the end, you'll have a new set point. You'll have better goals. You'll love yourself more for doing it. And I'm not lying about that. You will feel better and probably happier about your life if you do the 75 Hard program. And this isn't a pitch. I mean, the program is like free. So anyway, guys, go out there and challenge yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next podcast.